Season 2 is coming back in January, and here's the Season 1 in 13 minutes. So Miyo, our main lead, is born into the famous Saimori family where everyone gets cool spiritual abilities, except her. And because life is unfair, her mother dies, her dad remarries his first love, Kanuko, and her stepsister Kaya is born. Naturally, this turns into a full-blown Cinderella story where Miyo becomes a family servant and Kaya is spoiled rotten, and her father pretends that Miyo doesn't even exist. Her only shot of hope was Koji Tatsushi, her childhood friend who secretly loves her and wants to marry her to save her from her horrible family. But plot twist, Koji's dad says that he will arrange his marriage to Kaya instead. And for Miyo, she will be shipped off to marry Kiyoka Kudu, the demon soldier who scares off his fiancés faster than you can say happily ever after. Koji is devastated but powerless to help her, whereas Miyo has made her peace with her fate. Because honestly, how could it get any worse? Miyo arrives at Kiyoka's estate where she meets Yuri, Kiyoka's warm and caring servant. But then she meets the man himself. And let's just say her first impression is a mix of, wow, he's beautiful, and oh no, he probably hates me. Kiyoka is cold, suspicious, and he bluntly accuses her of trying to poison him with breakfast. Meanwhile, Koji moves into Saimori's household as Kaya's future husband and gets a glimpse of tiny, sad room Miyo used to live in. He's horrified but keeps quiet, knowing that his family expect him to play along. Back at Kodu estate, Kiyoka starts noticing Miyo's heartbreaking habits, like constantly apologizing and always bracing herself for criticism. This began to soften his frosty heart a little. He asks her to cook again, and when he praises her food, she cries because she's never been complimented in her entire life. Kiyoka grows more curious about Miyo's past and orders an investigation into the Saimori's family. Kiyoka takes Miyo on a shopping trip to cheer her up. As he noticed her old patched clothes, he secretly orders for her a gorgeous kimono and gives her a comb, which is a big deal because in Japanese tradition, a comb symbolizes love and commitment. And if you're wondering if Kiyoka is catching feelings, yes he is. Later, his investigation into the Saimoris reveals their abuse of Miyo, her lack of spiritual powers, and her connection to the Yasuda family, who are famous for their mind-manipulating abilities. You also notice that someone has been spying on him. Meanwhile, back at Saimori's mansion, Kaya is feeling salty now that Miyo has Kiyoka, who is way more handsome and powerful than her fiancé. Miyo wants to thank Kiyoka for his kindness, so Yuri suggests she makes something handmade. Miyo picks a kumihimo, which is a braided cord, since Kiyoka always ties his hair with one, while Kiyoka gives her a protective charm and insists that she carry it everywhere. Now, as Miyo and Yuri are out on a shopping trip for Kiyoka's gift, Kaya, the ultimate mean girl, runs into her while Yuri was away. She bullied her, but her smugness takes a hit when she finds out that Miyo is still engaged to Kiyoka. In another scene, we see Kiyoka, who shows up at the Saimori house like a boss and tells them that they won't get any of the usual perks of being his in-laws unless they apologizes to Miyo. Kaya, burning with jealousy, briefly meets Kiyoka as he was leaving the Saimori's house and is stunned by his beauty. Later, Kiyoka arranges a reunion between Miyo and Hana because he noticed her being sad and distant. Hana was a kind servant from her childhood who was unfairly fired. Miyo is touched beyond words and realizes that Kiyoka knows her entire traumatic history but still wants to marry her. Feeling all the love, she gives him his gift and he promises he'll never reject her. On the other side, Minoru, Koji's manipulative dad, are scheming hard to break Miyo and Kiyoka up because now he wants Miyo and her heir, as she has the blood of Usubas, one of the most powerful bloodlines. Kiyoka gifts Miyo the stunning kimono he ordered earlier, and she is beyond happy. Over at the Tatsushi's house, Minoru shows Kaya a photo of Miyo and Kiyoka looking all cozy. This naturally makes Kaya green with envy. Minoru knows exactly what he's doing, stirring the pot so Kaya would convince Shinichi, her father, to call off Miyo's engagement. Meanwhile, Miyo continues to glow up emotionally, even inviting Kyoka's colleague Godu for dinner to thank him for reuniting her with Hana. But Kaya, bitter that Miyo seems genuinely happy, starts plotting harder. That night, Miyo has a nightmare, and Kiyoka comforts her with his usual mixture of protectiveness and husband material energy. The next day, Miyo forgets her charm while delivering lunch to Kiyoka. Kaya and Minoru takes this opportunity and kidnaps her. Koji discovers their plan and for once, he's done with their nonsense. He goes full rage mode on his father, using his powers to attack him, but is ultimately overpowered. After a while, Koji is freed by his pretty brother Kazushi. And at the Koryu state, Yuri frantically tells Kiyoka about Miyo's abduction, and at the same time Koji shows up, desperate and apologetic, begging Kiyoka to help rescue her. Now Miyo is trapped in Saimori's storage room. She faces off against Kaya and Kanuko, where they demand she breaks off her engagement, but for the first time ever, Miyo stands her ground and refuses. Enraged by that, Kanuko physically attacks her. Kiyoka and Koji finally arrives at the Saimori house, and Kyoko obliterates a magical barrier set by Minori and Shinichi. Then faces Minoru in a battle, where his pyrokinetic powers set the house ablaze. But Kyoka is not here for any of those things. He strikes him down with lightning, leaving him unconscious. Shinichi watches helplessly as Saimori legacy goes up in flames. Kyoka storms in and rescues Miyo, comforting her with all the tenderness in the world. Kaya, however, still doesn't get it. She tries to flirt with Kyoka, thinking that she has a shot, but Kyoka shuts her down very hard, calling her selfish and ignorant. Koji also stands up to Kaya, declaring that he'll never let Miyo suffer again. As the Saimori family crumbles, the Emperor is watching from the sidelines. He's displeased with their failure and ordered his envoy Arata to deal with Kiyoka and Miyo. Back at Koryu State, Miyo wakes up to find Kiyoka by her side, reassuring her that none of this chaos was her fault. Yuri is equally relieved that Miyo is safe. Miyo, the ever-compassionate soul, asks Kiyoka to take her back to the burned Saimori state. There she learned that Shinichi and Kanuko are living a much humbler life in the countryside as karma finally caught up with them. Meanwhile, Kaya gets her own punishment, being set off as a live-in servant to a strict household. Koji tries to offer Kaya hope, saying that they can rebuild the Saimori family, but Kaya is too bitter to care. Back to Miyo and Kiyoka, their relationship keeps blossoming as Miyo thanks him for saving her life. They run into Koji, who announces that he will be off for training in the old capital. Then comes my favorite character, Hazuki, Kyoka's fabulous older sister, who decides to tutor Miyo in etiquettes to prepare her for higher society. Hazuki is a total vibe, a great mentor with an elegant big sister energy. But of course, things can't stay peaceful for long. Miyo starts having disturbing nightmares more often, which led to Kiyoka suspecting that they are connected to her mysterious Tsuba abilities. Meanwhile, the plot thickens as the general reveals a new threat. Someone unleashed the Grotskiris, the mysterious demons long sealed away. Here, by the end, we see that Arata is lurking, plotting who knows what. Kiyoka and his team, including Hazushi, have a meeting with the prince, who casually drops that the entire imperial capital is about to be invaded by Grotskiris. Still, the nice prince congratulates Kiyoka on his engagement, but cryptically warns him about his sweet little fiancé. Then we see Hazuki, who is molding Miyo into a proper high society lady, but the nightmares and headaches are wrecking Miyo's progress. Kiyoka, who is worried sick, starts digging into the Usuba family's secret. That night, Kyoka's squad battles and destroys Grotskiris, showcasing how badass these guys can be. But the next day, Miyo faints during training and encounters Arata, who is suspiciously way too interested in her. Things are hitting critical level of drama now. Kiyoka rushes home to find Miyo recovering with Hazuki by her side. They're both concerned about Miyo's worsening nightmares. Now Kiyoka is torn between comforting Miyo and protecting her from this growing danger. Amid all this chaos, Hazuki asks Miyo about her dreams for the future, and her response is sweet and simple. She just wants to be with Kiyoka. On the other side, Arata isn't done. It drops by the Koryu state and straight up offers Miyo a way out, basically saying, leave Kiyoka and I'll fix everything. Later, Kiyoka learns the shocking info that a mysterious woman named Sumi has ties to both Arata and the Usuba family. Before Kiyoka can fully process this information, Miyo collapses in the kitchen as he gets back home. He catches her just in time and carries her off to this mansion, after seeing the card that Arata had given him, determined to get answers and to confront Arata, who turns out to be the member of the Usuba family. At their mansion, Miyo learns that her spiritual gift, Dream Sight, is the root of her nightmares. Grandfather Usuba reveals that her ability allows her to enter others' dreams, but this also leaves her vulnerable to torment within her own. He offers to help Miyo but insists that she must stay with the Usubas. Naturally, Kiyoka refuses, unwilling to leave her behind. Then Arata challenges him. They fought for some time and Kiyoka finally gains the upper hand but is caught off guard by the illusion of Miyo as Arata plays dirty. Kiyoka loses, he sulks and gets scolded by his sister while Miyo stays with her family that just got the information that she exists. After getting few hits, Kiyoka vows to rescue Miyo after addressing the Grotscary's threat. Meanwhile, Miyo begins to uncover the truth about her mother's tragic past and why her powers were sealed. Miyo learns of her mother, Sumi's sacrifice. The Usuba family was struggling financially, and Sumi's marriage to Shinichi Saimori was a desperate attempt to save them. Sumi, who was now distanced from her family, sealed Miyo's power to protect her from being used or controlled. Arata, who was Miyo's cousin, explains Miyo's role as the maiden of the dream side and his responsibility to protect her. Meanwhile, Kiyoka battles the Grotscaries and is gravely injured while shielding Godu. Miyo is devastated upon hearing of his condition and begged her family to see him again. Despite the Emperor's insistence that Miyo stayed with the Usuba permanently, her grandfather supports her decision to reunite with Kiyoka. So Arata takes her back to him even as the tension escalates. Miyo determines to save Kiyoka, taps into her power, entering the dream world where she confronts her deepest trauma and unhappiness. Her other self tries so hard to discourage her, but Miyo refuses to give in, promising to create a happy future with Kiyoka. Guided by the gift she had given him, she finds Kiyoka locked in a fierce battle with the Grotscaries. The Emperor intervenes, attempting to destroy them in a dream world. However, Miyo and Kiyoka's combined strength overwhelms him, shattering his control and destroying the Grotscaries. Back in real world, Miyo and Kiyoka awakes, their bond stronger than ever. Arata accepts that Miyo is now a part of two families and tells Kiyoka that they will surely have a duel again someday. The political fallout begins. The prince reveals that the emperor staged the Grotscaries' release and vows to hold him accountable. For now, peace is restored as Miyo and Kiyoka returns to their daily lives, their love shining brighter than ever. The season closes with a lighter tone. Miyo attends a high society party with Kiyoka, meeting Hazuki's son Asahi, who initially dislikes her. His jealousy stems from feeling neglected by Hazuki, but after a heartfelt reassurance from his mother, Asahi apologizes to Miyo, setting their stage for a warmer relationship. Miyo's meeting with the prince provides closure as he apologizes for the emperor's action and praises her strength. She expresses her gratitude for her happiness with Kiyoka and decides to start new. The next day, Arata interrupts the little romance that we were getting and proposes becoming Miyo's bodyguard, solidifying his role as both protector and ally. This last part was from the OVA and it's one of my favorite episodes of all time. That was the mini recap. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to me. Take care of yourself and goodbye.
All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change.